Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best Joystick H.O.T.A.S.
Starting at number 5.
Logitech G X56 HOTAS. Logitech's premier offering in the flight stick department comes in the form of the X56 HOTAS, a direct successor to the now-defunct X55. A gorgeous-looking piece of kit, as Logitech's G range tends to be, with a matte black finish and stainless steel switches and knobs. This HOTAS is nowhere near as pricey as the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog, but it will still set you back over $200/$200. Again, it's a steep cost for any newcomers to the scene, but the X56 is second on our list for a reason. The extent of the controls and ease of use make it a solid choice for any budding pilot. Having 3 separate triggers is a huge benefit for the X56 over a lot of other flight sticks. When combined with the plethora of other controls like the thumb slider, numerous dials and switches, buttons, chances are you won't need to use all of them, but you can remap them at your leisure so you only have the most suitable controls for you at your fingertips.
Coming at number 4.
Logitech G Extreme Pro 3D. If you're not quite ready to commit to the price point of something like the Warthog, the Logitech G Extreme Pro 3D has a much more digestible cost. We regularly see this stick available for well under $40/£40, and it's got everything you need to get started in the world of flight sims. A one-handed rudder twisting control keeps a small footprint for your setup as a whole, and there's still plenty of programmable buttons to fiddle with as well. An 8-way hat switch, throttle control, and 3-axis movement, there's an impressive array of features baked in for the price here. Not only that, but it comes with a solid build quality and a smaller footprint, perfect if you don't want to keep your setup on the desk all the time. The G Extreme Pro 3D certainly won't see more experienced flyers through a long session, but if you're just testing the waters, this is a solid place to start with a taster of everything to come without the much larger price tags.
At number 3.
Thrustmaster T.Flight. Here we have the Thrustmaster T.Flight HOTAS X. You may notice this looks somewhat similar to the Thrustmaster T.Flight HOTAS 4, and well, that's right. The HOTAS X is the predecessor, which means it's only compatible with PS3 and PC, but for some reason, Thrustmaster is still producing it and it's often easier to find stock of. This means that if you're a PC gamer looking for a budget HOTAS, this is the way forward because the lack of current-gen console compatibility won't be an issue, plus it should be slightly cheaper. All the above aspects of the HOTAS 4 apply here too. We were impressed by the fact that it has same number of buttons, same design, same weight, etc. The HOTAS X has a red accent compared to the blue on the HOTAS 4, but it's purely an aesthetic choice. When testing the HOTAS X, we found that it does have a somewhat notable dead zone on both the stick and the throttle that can be a pain to work with when it comes to small movements, but it's unconfirmed whether this has been fixed in the HOTAS 4 or not. At the end of the day, you'll be able to grab a HOTAS X for prices cheaper than most other joysticks, so it's a solid choice if you want to simply see what it's like to use a flight stick for PC.
Number 2 of my list.
Turtle Beach VelocityOne. Unlike a traditional HOTAS, Turtle Beach's debut into flight sim control interfaces is more like a flight stick that just happens to have thruster inputs. The PC and Xbox compatible VelocityOne's non-traditional design works though, thanks to some high-grade construction materials and subtle design touches. At 0% and $100 of each thruster, for example, is an additional input. You'll feel a click at each extreme, and those clicks register as buttons 9 to 12. The flight stick has a lot of resistance, which can be divisive. It's precise and snappy, but circling around the center point is tricky when it wants to snap back to the middle with such force. That's less of a big deal in combat flight sims, but when you're trying to baby a jetliner down onto the runway, you want subtle inputs. The base isn't the heaviest either, so at times that snappy resistance can tip or nudge the whole unit.
And number 1.
Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. We're starting off with the biggest and the best. As mentioned above, if you're a newbie when it comes to the world of flight sticks, chances are you want to skip over the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog because this is a replica of military-grade equipment that will set you back around $380/$400. Yikes. That's where the drawbacks stop though, because if you know you'll get enough use out of this bad boy, then it's the absolute best on the market. A warning needs to be had though, don't drop this on your toe, or you'll end up crippled because it weighs over 15 pounds in total. If you've no experience with this type of peripheral before, then it'll take some getting used to, but boy oh boy does it excel when it feels natural. It has 55 reprogrammable buttons and switches, which is an astounding amount when you consider the fact a standard controller has less than 20.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.